How's it going, everyone? It's Leo here. So in this video, I'll be talking about how much you can make in the stock market with $1,000 in one day. Now, I'm going to use $1,000 because 100 seemed like too little to actually do this on, because 100 is not even enough to buy you an Apple stock or a Netflix stock, which are actually trending right now. So I decided to use the 1,000 to be able to tap into those stocks and really show you how they're doing, more or less. So this was my first day actually investing, and I'll show you more or less how the results came out. And I'll keep in mind, this was just kind of an experiment to see how I would do the very first day. And I know I could lose money, win money, and the results I'm showing you is just for today. Tomorrow I could lose it all, or I could make twice as much. That all depends, but I'll be showing you my first day. So now in a second, I'll show you my home account for Robinhood, which is the app that I use to invest this money. It's gonna have an extra $17, and that's because I did some referrals to some friends and family, and I got 3 random stocks, which Robinhood does. I got 2 Sirius XM radio stocks, which are for the satellite radios, and then a Snapchat stock. So those are gonna be there, but I didn't invest in those. Those were free, so just keeping that in mind. But Robinhood, I decided to use them because they don't charge any commission. I originally had a Vanguard account, but that's for index funds, and I'll talk about that in another video. But when I was looking into buying stocks through Vanguard instead, they were charging commission. And I heard that Robinhood was a good app, and they kept doing marketing to me whenever I would watch videos. So I looked into them, and they seemed like a good application to do this trading. So I decided to go with them and buy my stocks through them, and then that's why I used them. Another thing I noticed about Robinhood is it's a really friendly user interface when it comes to using the application. It's really simple. You got your home page, you got like the search bar, and then you got your personal. So super simple. I'll show you it right now, but you can see that anyone can use it, and it's really simple to figure out. Okay, so here you have the Robinhood homepage, and as you can see, I have invested $1,038.64. Now, 1,000 was what I initially invested. 17 of those dollars came from referrals that I did to my parents and a friend. So those I'll discuss a little bit, but that's overall what I have right now is $1,038. So you can see this is my performance through the day. The line at the bottom represents my $1,017 and kind of how it went up and down. So I put in the orders to buy those stocks a couple days ago, I think Saturday, but since the market was closed, it didn't go through. It just went into a queue. So I just waited, and when I woke up this morning around 11, I had noticed that I had already made around $15 when I woke up. And this was passive, so I was excited. I was happy. There's no other feeling like it, to make money while you're sleeping, because that is literally what I did. I was sleeping, and I had made $15. If I would have taken those stocks and sold them that very moment, that's what would have happened. But that's not really the purpose of it. It was to wait the whole day, and this is a bit more long term, so that's why. After that, I went and took a shower, and as I got out the shower, I checked again, and I was back to square one. I had zero profit. I was at $1,017, and you could see there I actually dipped a little bit under. So that's when I really realized why people say the stock market is a roller coaster, because 1 second I was up around like 15%, and then I was down. So yeah, I noticed that, and then I kind of took it off my mind. I started eating, went over to a friend's house. Later, when I realized, I saw it at the peak. Now at the peak it was $1,045, so that was pretty good. I wasn't really sure that it would hold out there, because this was around like 2 p.m. more or less. And then come around 5, I checked, and it was basically around where you see it plateaued, which is this number, $1,038. And ironically, Robinhood has this where it has like a little news feed where it tells you like news articles about if a stock would be good or bad to invest, how they're doing. Well, not really if they're good or bad, but just kind of like the news. So if it's bad news, probably going to go down. If it's good news, probably going to go up. And it just happened to say that their top gainers today was Netflix. So that's just ironic that happens to be one of the stocks I'll be talking about and showing you today. So here you can see the 6 stocks that I have. The bottom ones, that's a Siri and Snap. Snap for Snapchat, Siri for Sirius XM. Those were the ones that were given to me for free by Robinhood for referrals. They typically range from $5 more or less in that area. One of the referrals, because it goes both ways. So if I refer someone, they get a free stock, I get a free stock. So the lowest I've seen is $2 by Chesapeake Energy. because they tend to do it with popular stocks. And of course, they're not going to be giving out Apple stocks, which are $150 left and right. So it's kind of randomized, but I guess a higher probability towards cheaper stocks. So Chesapeake being the lowest at $2. And I was actually the highest with I think Siri. Yeah, Siri was a little bit higher than Snap this morning, around almost $6. That's kind of what you could guess you'll probably get if you do a referral, more along that range. So now FCAU is for Fiat Chrysler Automotive. F is Ford. GE is the General Electric. And then the top one is Netflix. Initially, I wanted to invest $3,000, and that's what I was going to do. But Robinhood has this thing where unless you have gold, you can't deposit all that money immediately and trade it immediately. So they only allow $1,000 to get transferred over, and then they leave the other amount over $1,000 just kind of on hold, transferring for 4 to 5 business days. So I was only able to work with 1,000, but that did seem like a good number to really talk about what you can do with 1,000. But I did initially have planned to do 3,000. I'm gonna most likely invest those other 2,000, seeing as from what I've seen so far from my results that I'll be talking about. But I just wanted to disclose that, as you could see it here, and that's just kind of in the past 30 days how much I paid for the stocks, the limit buy, the market buy. So those kind of vary, and I'll talk about those in another video. But you could see at the bottom, Siri and Snap, it has plus, means they were just free. So this right here is the Snapchat stock, and you can see the overall performance for today, not very good. And if you look back the past 5 years, it was actually starting at $30, the IPO, and it's just been downhill ever since. It's actually been said that it's basically the Titanic of stocks. So I just happened to get that stock. Once the 3-day period ends for you to sell your stocks, I'm going to sell Snap. I don't want anything to do with that stock, but here along, you could see just how it's been doing in a day. Not really up, just constantly down. And you could see here in this picture how that's the equity, which is basically what it's worth, my return, losing money of course, and then my total return. Since it was free, it'll just say the plus $5, 0.00. Now here we have the Sirius stock for Sirius XM. Now this one I'm really undecided whether I'm going to keep. It was also a free stock, and I got 2 of them, so it just happened to come out being the same one the second time. They're not doing too bad, kind of up and down. They balanced out basically at 0.17% difference down. Not really sure. I'll most likely sell them, but I'll see. And by the way, I'm recording this video on New Year's Eve, so you're probably going to hear some fireworks. Sorry about that. Not really much I could do to drown that out. And so let me see here. You could see that I have the 2 shares, 11.44 equity. Same things come out. The total return is just plus 11.44, 0.00%. Now, Fiat Chrysler Automotive. The reason I bought Fiat Chrysler is because that's the company that actually hired me once I graduate, and I'm going to be moving up to Michigan to work for them. So I guess I could have a personal attachment to this stock. They only recommend personal attachments when it comes to money. I have a personal attachment to the company, but I'll try not to let that blind me when it comes to making the right stock decisions. I got that advice from Ryan Scribner. I'm sure some of you might be subscribed to him, and if you haven't, you should. He's a great guy. He gives great advice, so definitely recommend to subscribe to him or check out some of his videos as well. So now you could see here that they went up 0.28% today. Not bad. It's been said that both Ford, FCA, and GM, the 3 automotive giants in Detroit, they're not really doing too good this year, even though they have been in the past. And the 2019 might seem like it's going to be the same, not too much growth, but I'm holding on to it long term since I'm going to be working there, so that's really fine for me. Now here you could see that I bought, another firework just went off. So here you could see that I have 13 shares for them, each bought at $14.6. My return today was actually $3.64 less. And that's actually because after hours, it went down. Now, after hours, I haven't really talked about it too much because that's trading that happens after the stock exchange goes down. Some brokers allow it, but just for simplicity reasons, I won't be bringing it up too much. But you could see that it went down 0.97 after hours, so that does affect it. So now here's the Ford stock. I figured Ford too because they're the oldest automotive, and Ford assembly line, they're big. I doubt they're going to be going anywhere in the near future. However, they haven't been doing very well. It's a little worrisome, but I think they'll pull through and be fine in the long run. But you could see they started out going just down, picking up a little, going back down, and then just kind of staying under where they started at 2% less than what they started. After hours, they actually did pick up. Now here I have just one share of them at $7.62. Now at the top you could see it's at $7.66, or in the equity portion of it. So my return was 4 cents. Not gonna make me rich and famous, but it's getting me closer. So now GE is another one of the companies I wanted to invest in. GE has over 100 years doing business and being profitable and just pretty much doing well in the economy. So now I found it pretty surprising that from a $30 stock, they're all the way back down to $7. They've been through the Great Depression. They've been through the recession back in 2007 and 8. They pulled through. So they're having some tough times right now, but I feel like with some right management changes and something going on right, because I really don't think we're going to see GE just disappear off the map like that. If anything, USA might bail them out or something, but I'm pretty sure they're here to stay, and I don't think they're going to be going bankrupt. So this is kind of one of the riskier ones because they could shoot up in the long run back to $30, and people are going to profit heavily from that. However, if you did buy at 30 stocks, then that's really bad. But buying it at an all-time low, which is what it is right now, you're really not risking too much, except if it goes bankrupt, really. But that's not going to happen. Well, it could, but it's not really likely. It's more likely that it'll pick back up and start moving upwards again. So I decided to invest in GE. A lot of people are too. That's one of the stocks that people are recommending for 2019. So you might check it out or not. Just keep in mind that this one is risky. So you can see it's kind of fluctuating. I got 0.80% during hours, and then 0.66 I went down. So today's return, I have almost a penny. Not a penny, but kind of teasing me there. I have 3 shares. Each cost me $7.52. So now here we have the superstar. We have Netflix, which when I took this picture was trading at $268.40. You could see their performance today was spectacular. It was one of the best. They even put it in the articles there on Robinhood. Started out, went up, went down a little bit, just shot up like crazy, went down a little bit, and then stabled out. But overall, really good stock there. Definitely got to invest. The reason I decided to invest in Netflix was because I saw it was 415 or 410 back in August, and that was ridiculous that a stock could be that much for Netflix and just dive all the way back down to 250, especially with how popular Netflix is. And they're a streaming service. Keep in mind their balance sheet. They're not going to have many liabilities due to the streaming service. And when you look at their assets and their cash on hand, they're great. That's the thing with these tech companies is it's kind of hard for them to fail when they don't really have too much debts and more cash on hand. And Netflix is just one of the biggest trending companies right now. So I did not see any way for them to keep going down, but to skyrocket back up to 400. And I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be seeing. So I actually bought 3 shares of them for $260 each. And you could see that my profit just today was $25. I profited $25 just from 3 shares of Netflix. That's why I decided to, when those $2,000 transfers over, I'm going to be investing into them an extra share. And then Amazon, they're doing great too. I'll talk about that later, but that's definitely why I'm getting another Netflix share. They've been performing great, and I feel like that's just going to keep on happening. Now you can see that after trading $1,000 in one day, I made a 2% return of $20. Now, before even doing this, I was thinking about putting those $1,000 into a savings account for Ally Bank, which they charge 2% interest, which they'll give you back. I'll keep this in mind. That's for annually. I made this in a day, investing in stocks. Again, I want to reiterate, it could go up, it could go down. It's unpredictable, but so far in a day, I have already made that 2%. I made $20 profit in just one day. So if you want to invest $1,000, the best way I think would be the stock market, because any other form would just be a high barrier to entry, such as real estate, which I'm actually really fond of. But stock seems like a good option for just anyone to jump into. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have those $2,000 from my bank account transferred over to Robinhood. Now, once that goes through, I'm definitely going to keep it in Robinhood and invest into more stocks. I already had Amazon in mind, another Netflix, and I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with the rest of the money after I invest into Amazon and Netflix. But I'll see. But definitely for sure, I'm going to keep those 2,000 there and invest them. So thank you for watching my video. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more videos similar to this when it comes to investing, academic growth, and personal growth. Thank you and have a great day. How's it going, everyone? It's Leo here. So in this video, I'll be talking about how you can $1,000 because it seemed like a really good number to use where you could actually try out multiple stocks, being like Netflix, which is $250. And because